The feminist movement has made tremendous strides in getting women equal opportunities and giving them a much-needed voice. But more conversations still need to be had. The French Institute is championing such discussions. Events in cities around the world at the end of the month will focus on feminism at work. With me to talk more on this is the director of the French Institute of South Africa, Véronique Briquet-Laugier. Also joining us via Skype is one of the panelists, Jabulile Nadia Newman. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you very much, Sankla.
Yeah, just tell me, would you agree that this is a great time to be a woman currently?
I totally agree with you. But there are still things at stake.
Yeah.
And I would like to put in context this night of ideas that we are going to have as a debate on Thursday. So Night of Ideas is a French concept to debate about all over the world about one theme in a special night, always the 31st of Jan. And this year, the theme was Facing Our Time. And Facing Our Time is very broad. So what would other countries would do and what would us in French-South African cooperation would do? And we did feminism at the workplace with great ladies like Jabulile, but also Nandipam Tambo, who's a visual artist, Danny Bowler, who's the managing director of Elle, and she's going to be the moderator of this debate, and also with the French director, Fanny Glissant. So it's a French-South African cooperation theme also about feminism at the workplace. And to answer your question, it is great to be a woman, but there are still challenges.
So the women gender has stood marginalized historically. Would you say things are changing?
Things are moving, definitely, and I can't complain when I see, for example, the career I have had and up to now. But yet, there is, in the workplace, there is a fact that you're not going to have, I would say, almost an incompetent woman somewhere, because people are really more demanding about women work. So, and Jabulile Newman, who's a director, a great director, who won a prize in this French-South African platform, the Digital Lab Africa, that we put into place with South African people, this great cooperation tool. Jabulile also will tell you, I'm sure, the same thing.
Speaking about Jabulile, let's also include her in our discussion. Jabulile, you have a very interesting idea or concept that you're working on called the Foxy 5. Tell us a bit more about your work.
So the Foxy 5 is a web series that looks at 5 different women in Cape Town and looks at what it means to be a woman of color and a feminist today, and how that plays into everyday struggles, and how we as women need to also talk about these concepts among each other and look at how practically women are suffering, not just from our own experiences, but also women that are different to us and have different experiences.
And would you agree that more women empowerment groups and opinions now thrive within our communities, and especially in developed countries or developing countries?
I think that there is more, there's definitely more inclusion of women. There's definitely more of a democracy with getting women's voices out there, particularly when it comes to the internet and social media. But when it comes to the landscape of South Africa, it's still a very dangerous country for women, and we need to be fighting not only online and speaking about things at universities, but also speaking about women who travel to work every day and get harassed or get attacked. So looking at also on the ground level how to protect women more and make them more safe and give them more agency.
So just give us a better idea of some of the discussions or pressing issues that are touched on at such meetings.
So I think that with this one particularly, we'll be looking at women in the creative field and talking about how they either involve feminism in their work or how they speak about feminism in their work, but also how they experience segregation or discrimination by being a woman in the creative field. I think that the panelist is amazing. I mean, Nandipa Matambo is an amazing artist. She has done so much, and to just learn from how she incorporates her own understanding of being a woman in her work and how she had to navigate that in the art world would be so interesting compared to myself or a French director and Danny, who's in the print world and in living and working in a magazine like Elle, which is for women, but speaking about women's issues as well.
And can men get involved, and what kind of support do you need?
I think that men should definitely be part of the conversation. There are times when women need to discuss it on their own. I think men need to listen a lot, and they need to be checking other men. Like, it's dangerous for women to constantly be educating men and fighting with them. Men should also take it within themselves to talk amongst each other and to teach each other, and not just wait for women to teach them.
So, Veronique, firms are now formulating increasingly mature policies to address the issues of gender inequality, issues like equal pay and harassment. But are these policies really working or helping?
Yes, I really like what Jabulile said about we need the men, and policies are working to also educate everyone. And without everyone on the planet, we can't achieve this goal of gender equality. And this is a great theme for us in France. This is the priority of our president, and it's going to be the priority of the G7 summit that France is president will be chaired for 2019. So. Policies, we need policy, we need affirmative action too, and like Jabulile said, it's important also for diversity at large, because as you know, in France we always also have those issues of the diversity, the people that are black, Arabs, they need to also be in positions and be really the people that can be decision makers, and we need to include them because we have this great diversity, and on top of everything, of course, women. So it's really important to have affirmative actions, to have policies. It's very important, and to include men with us, because it's all about education, and it starts from school. Yes. And so it's very, very important, and we are doing a lot of great things in South Africa about that, with the French embassy and the government also, but also at the NGO level. So we have programs dedicated to women, to gender equality, and really also to face the fact that we should work together, men and women, and diversity.
Let's work together. I think we can all agree that more such discussions need to be had.
Yes,
Definitely.
And we'll have that on Thursday.
Definitely. I'd like to thank my guest, Director of the French Institute in South Africa, Véronique Briquet-Laugier, and Jabulile Nadia Newman.